Good morning and welcome into NFL Daily. I am Tom Downey. Today's show made possible by Manscaped. 20% off and free shipping when you use promo code CHAT over at manscaped.com/chat. The holiday season is here. We all know Santa cares about his sack, and so should you. Look nice when you get naughty by using Manscaped's products. More on them later on in today's show. But it's Power Rankings time, as it almost always is on Tuesday, although we are getting closer to playoff picture time. That's maybe a couple weeks away, though. Houston Texans remain last in the NFL. They are 1-6-1. Ties are un-American. It is draft season for some of these teams at the bottom. And speaking of draft season, if you want a fresh mock draft from yours truly here at Chat Sports, show me. Like the video right now. You guys haven't engaged with as much as the draft content as you have in the past, so I got to show the bosses that you want this. Like the video right now. I'm told at least 500 likes, and we will do a mock draft for you guys later this week, probably part of NFL Live on Wednesday. So like that video right now. Number 31, the Carolina Panthers. They sit at 2-7. I'm still really confused how they beat the Bucs and then get embarrassed by the Bengals. Football doesn't make sense sometimes, but they're bad. The Pittsburgh Steelers are 2-6. They're number 30. Look, Mike Tomlin will probably get them winning a couple games with their draft stock, but it's going to be the first time in a long time they have a top 5 pick. You're talking decades upon decades since the last time Pittsburgh was drafting this early. Number 29, one of the bigger disappointments this year, the Las Vegas Raiders. Josh McDaniels. You've blown 3 different 17-point leads, and we're 8 games into the year. That's bad. If the Raiders don't get this figured out, they absolutely should consider firing Josh McDaniels. Now, the issue is, does ownership want to pay another head coach to not coach for them, with the John Gruden stuff kind of, in limbo at the moment in terms of payment? What do you think when it comes to Josh McDaniels and the Raiders? I know there are a lot of Raiders fans watching. I think you're mostly going to agree. But sound off. Should the Raiders fire Josh McDaniels? F for fire, K for keep. Drop your Fs or Ks in the comments. The Detroit Lions, they upset the Packers. That's what Dan Campbell needed, right? You got to win some close games as that rebuild continues. They're number 28. They actually moved up a couple spots because of that win. They were 31 last week. Up a few spots as the Panthers, Steelers, and Raiders, of course, all slide. The Colts are one of the bigger fallers this week. They dropped 4 spots after their offense forgot to show up, and they fired head coach Frank Reich. And in one of the more shocking interim head coach moves in ever, it's not John Fox, it's not Gus Bradley, it's not anyone on the staff. It is former high school coach, that's all of his experience, ESPN analyst Jeff Saturday, who is the interim head coach. It makes no sense to me. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, because you don't hire the new boss, has not worked with this coaching staff, had been a head coach at the high school level only, he's unqualified. Objectively speaking, he's unqualified. It makes no sense to me. But what is your one-word reaction to the Colts hiring Jeff Saturday? I thought it was fake at first. I'm like, okay, that's made up, and then the Colts announced it. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So go have some fun. One-word reaction, one word only, to the Colts hiring Jeff Saturday as the interim head coach. Number 26, the Jacksonville Jags are next up here. They won a close game. That's been their problem all year. They've shown flashes. They're clearly a much better team. I think the first year in Urban Meyer is such a wash. It doesn't count for any player, veteran or youngster. They look better this year. They're not perfect. I think it's an upward track right now with Doug Peterson. The Denver Broncos actually moved up a spot. They're 3-5 coming off the bye, but they have issues. Russell Wilson is not playing very well. We'll see if Denver can really right this ship and save Nathaniel Hackett's job. The Saints are number 24. They actually stay where they were last week, but that's a big loss for them. This is a team that they were supposed to be a contender. They thought themselves a contender. They moved that first-round pick. Right now, it's top 7 pick in the NFL draft. That's an issue for New Orleans. Hopefully, for their own fan base's sake, they can get going. It's never too early to start thinking about gifts this holiday season. So whether it's the friend for a friend for you, significant other, or the friend in your pants, you can make this season a jolly one with Manscaped. 20% off and free shipping over at manscaped.com/chat. The Platinum Package 4.0 is the one-stop shop for the man who deserves it all. Everything you need to deck the halls from face to balls just in time for mistletoe season comes with the Performance Package plus the Ultra Premium Body Wash, Ultra Premium 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, deodorant as well. It's the best way to smell fresh from your Santa hat to your candy cane. 20% off and free shipping when you use promo code CHAT over at manscaped.com/chat. Get your jingle balls ready this year just in time for the holidays. Links in the comment section and in the description. The Chicago Bears now, number 23, they're 3-6. They figured something out on offense. I would question why it took them so long to realize Justin Fields should run the football, but that's beside the point. They figured it out. The offense looks way better down the stretch. It's going to be a really tough playoff path for them this year. Maybe looking competent and losing games is the best case for them long term. They're going to be a tough out down the stretch this season. The Arizona Cardinals are number 22, and I just don't think they're very good. They were kind of in an aggressive win-now mode. They, pay the quarterback, pay the head coach, pay the GM, and neither has done that great of a job this year. And I wonder if there could be some changes when the year ends. Part of the NFC Beast this year, the Washington Commanders are on a little bit of a hot streak. They, of course, lose this past week, and they actually will go up one spot because other teams fell, looking at you, Arizona. But the Commanders have kind of righted the ship a little bit. Maybe they'll win 7 games, as they always do with Ron Rivera. All right, the Cleveland Browns are number 20. They actually stay exactly where they were coming off the bye. It's biding time, trying to win a few games here and there and then get Deshaun Watson back, but next year's probably going to be their aggressive year. One of the biggest disappointments this entire season by far has been the Green Bay Packers. You're supposed to beat the Detroit Lions, and you didn't. And I get it. The offensive line is bad in Green Bay. They've not played well. A lot of injuries there. The receiving core, as we all foresaw coming, is not very good when your leading receivers are Alan Lazard, Romeo Doubs, who's banged up now, the washed-up corpse of Sammy Watkins and Randall Cobb, and Christian Watson can't stay healthy, and he was a raw player anyway. It's tough for the quarterback. But Aaron Rodgers is not playing well. It's not just the supporting cast or the play calling and all these short, designed for yak plays, and you have no guys who win after the catch. Aaron Rodgers does not look good. He is struggling right now. And I think it's a fair question. At his age, Aaron Rodgers washed up. Now he's a Hall of Famer, MVP coming off it, but he not looked right this year. So could be a freezing cold take if you type in Y for yes, but take the risk. Y for yes, N for no. Is Rodgers washed up? Another disappointment are the LA Rams, 3-5 this season. That game against the Bucs was kind of both teams got to have it, and the Rams didn't have it. They have a tough path to getting back to the playoffs. For an aggressive all-in team, you don't want to be wasting years like the Rams did. How about the Falcons, by the way? Number 17, they're 4-5. Yeah, they're coming off a tough one for Atlanta, but the Falcons have been a lot more competitive than what I think people thought they were going to be. Yeah, you lose a tough one against the Chargers. You survived against the Panthers, but you've beaten the Niners. You really should have beaten the Bucs, by the way, too. Falcons at 4-5. They're going to be in the playoff mix this year, as weird as that sounds. The Bucs have the tiebreaker over them in the NFC South and ahead of them in our power rankings. Tampa needed that one. The offense is not quite right, but they have a very real chance to host a playoff game. And Cowboys, Giants, etc. Do you really want to go play Tampa on the road in the first playoff game? I don't think so. The Patriots, Tom Brady's old team over his current team. They're 5-4. I don't know how much we can glean into that win they had last week because that was a bad showing by Indy. But hey, the Patriots, we mentioned the NFC Beast. It is the AFC Beast this year. Patriots, Jets, Dolphins, Bills, all above 500 at the Week 10 mark. That's impressive. The Bengals now, number 14, 5-4. Their schedule, and I mention this every week, the schedule has not been that challenging for the Bengals. And it doesn't get more challenging this week, prime time, or I should say next week, prime time against the Steelers. But then it's Titans, Chiefs, Deshaun Watson-led Browns, Bucks, Patriots, Bills, Ravens to close the season. The Bengals did not take advantage of their early season schedule the way they needed to. They can right the ship in time. The Niners, number 13, 4-4. They've been up and down. They're going to be a contender. I think they're the favorites right now for that last wild card spot in the NFC. And we will have playoff picture updates for you guys in the future and lots of draft coverage here at Chat Sports. So if you haven't already, subscribe. Hit that big red button. Or if you're watching on the updated version of YouTube, they've made some interface changes. It's black and white now. So subscribe for free. Number 12, the Los Angeles Chargers. They are 5-3. It hasn't always been pretty, but they keep winning some games, and that's a big deal for Brandon Staley, for a team that I think kind of needs to, despite all those injuries, make the playoffs this year. Surprise contender, the New York Jets. I did not think they were going to beat the Bills. I thought they had no chance of beating Buffalo, and they did. And look, Josh Allen did not play well. We'll talk about the Bills in a little bit here. The Jets deserve credit. That's a big win for them. And Zach Wilson's 5-1 as the quarterback this year. He has not played that well, but they're winning games. Tennessee, speaking of just winning games, yeah, they lost to the Chiefs, and Malik Willis has not actually played that well as a QB because, well, he's a third-round raw quarterback. Adjust your expectations appropriately. Tennessee's found a way to compete, though. And I think that's a credit to Mike Vrabel. He always maximizes the talent on that roster to get regular season wins. Now you want playoff wins. Another surprise contender, Seattle, is on the verge of potentially running away with this division. The ground game has been dynamic. The pass rush is getting going. Kenneth Walker and Geno Smith deserves NFL Comeback Player of the Year. No one else other than Geno Smith should get it because he proved every single person wrong. I think even members of his own family wrong with how good Geno has been this year. The other big-time surprise contender, the Giants. They actually slid, which I was surprised by in our rankings. I still had them pretty high up. Not everyone did. There's still some semblance of doubt for all three of these teams because, well, we didn't think they were going to be that good. If you had to pick one of these three surprise contenders to at least win a playoff game, make a run down the stretch this year, who would it be? J for the Jets, S for the Seahawks, J, S, or G. G for the Giants in there. Vote in the comments. The Miami Dolphins are number 7 on our list as they've won a lot of games with Tua. Hey, not gotten hurt. Probably have some more MVP buzz around him. Was a high-scoring affair against Chicago. Dolphins are in position for a playoff push, as are the Baltimore Ravens, fresh off a Monday Night Football win. Ravens deserve that one. The Saints are not very good. I don't love their passing game still with injuries. They should be in the mix for Odell Beckham. Also, that the Dallas Cowboys are firmly in the mix for Odell Beckham. Jerry Jones not shying away from that this morning in his radio spot. They'll go with the star in his helmet. Yeah, we know, Jerry. Go do something. All these teams, actually this range outside of Miami, should be in the mix for Odell. Add another talented playmaking wide receiver. These are not the Super Bowl favorites right now, but they are all real contenders. That is also true for the Minnesota Vikings. No changes, by the way, in our top 5 this week again. Minnesota has yet to play a complete game. They keep winning games. Now, they've been by a very close margin, kind of evening out from last year's bunch of close losses. That's typically how things tend to go. There's some regression to the mean. I would like to see Minnesota play a complete game. They haven't done it yet, and yet they're 7-1. The Chiefs at 6-2. Mahomes went Mahomes against the Titans and carried that squad to a win. Kind of did everything with very different styles of play, but congrats to the KC there. They are the number 3 team. Not unanimous. Some voters had them at 2 over the Buffalo Bills. Now, as we sit here filming this, no update right now on the Josh Allen injury. It's an elbow injury. There's some concern. It could be the UCL, whatever it is. It's some concern around Josh Allen and that elbow injury. So we'll see what ends up happening there from that standpoint. But the deep dark fear no one talks about is, hey, it's a UCL. We'll see if that ends up being the case. I hope it's not. He's too much fun to watch. As long as he's healthy, the Bills and Chiefs are your clear-cut AFC favorites. I think there are 3 good teams in the NFL. One of them lost last week in the Bills. The Eagles did not. A little bit of a close game. I think Texans showed, as other teams have. You can run the football on Philly, but they're 8-0. They're undefeated. They are correctly the unanimous team in our power rankings this week here, AP poll style at Chat Sports. So grade our power rankings before we go. A, B, C, D, or F. We can take the criticism. Let us know in the comment section.